tell you it was clear and obvious on the field of a hand into the opposing player, a full arm extension that created separation. In all situations, that would be called. We're not going to allow that at any time of the game. So, Rex has made it clear where he stands. Dan Orlovsky, where do you stand? Was that the right call at the end of the game last night?
Yeah, Greeny, that's offensive pass interference. It's the right call. I mean, if you just watch Jalen Ramsey run stride for stride with Gallup, and all of a sudden there's separation. And so you have to ask, like, where did that separation come from? And the separation comes from Gallup sticking that right hand out. Does Jalen Ramsey sell it? I don't know, maybe, but there still is that separation. It makes me think of the Super Bowl call last year against George Kittle. It makes me think of the Kyle Rudolph play against the Saints last year. Once that separation happens, those refs got to ask, why did it happen? And it happened because of that stiff arm. So that is the right call there, and that's coming from an offensive guy. That's OPI.
Rex, you look skeptical.
No, I'm telling you, right now, Greeny, when I see it, this thing, and Dan gave, 4 examples of, calls that we've seen made before. I can give you a million examples of calls that have never been made, because this is just contact. What happens is, look, I never realized Jalen Ramsey, a heck of an actor, too. So he's in Hollywood. Go ahead, he can get an acting class, because he ends up standing up his shoulders. He's smart, and he ends up getting the call. The guy was even. When you're even, he's leaving. Gallup was clearly getting ready to go behind him, and it's just a smart play by Jalen Ramsey, but it's the wrong call.
We will now never know how this game otherwise would have ended. Meanwhile, let's talk about a few other things from it. Rex, that offense of the Dallas Cowboys. Zeke Elliott, good. Again, 17 points they scored last night. What did you see from the Cowboys offense?
Yeah, that's what's so disappointing. Look, they got all the weapons in the world. So you expect this team to come out with the talent that they have to put up at least 25, 30 points a game. Mm-hmm. There's no reason to think you're not going to get that. And so when you only are putting up 17 points, it's a huge disappointment.
Dan, why did they only put up 17 points last night?
Lack of creativity was a big thing. I have to be honest that their offense didn't look creative.
Well, wait a second,
that second drive.
Where's Boy Wonder? That's your guy.
I knew this was coming from you. And I've got to be honest with you, he's got to get more creative. There's way too much firepower for this team to get 17. This is like when you go and get one of those illegal packs of fireworks, one of those big jumbo packs, and you think it's going to be amazing, and you light it, and the fuse is just a dud. Like, it was a dud last night by the Cowboys offense. And I know we're all going to talk about the Cowboys defense. They gave up 20 points on the road and still lost. You're way too explosive and way too talented. You did not draft CeeDee Lamb in the first round at 17 to score 17 points. So they got to get way more creative on offense. And I'd say this, don't finish the game 0 for 7 on third down. Don't finish the game 0 for 7 on third down. And so it was kind of a emblematic performance by the Cowboys offense. Pretty good. Their quarterback played good, but not good enough. It's still a loss on the road.
Dan,
offense is more talented than 26 teams in the NFL.
Here's the only thing I'll say. Here we are talking about a Dallas Cowboys team that we say they have all the talent in the world, and yet they only scored 17 points because they're bad on third down and the offense is uncreative. This sounds like a carbon copy of a conversation we had all of last year. So, Orlovsky, quickly, I thought the coaching change was supposed to change that. What difference does it make?
Well, it's still Kellen Moore's offense. And I'll be honest with you, Greeny, if it doesn't change scheme-wise and explosiveness-wise, Mike McCarthy's going to take over some form of the play calling. I still think Kellen Moore is a brilliant football mind, but he needs to take the shackles off. This offense should look a lot more like a Baltimore Ravens offense or a Kansas City Chiefs offense than it does, Scott Linehan, Jason Garrett last 10 years offense.
We'll talk much more about this. I can see Rex is nodding his head. He agrees. Meanwhile, let's get you to the most anticipated game of the NFL's Week 1, the Bucs and the Saints, and that means, in case you hadn't heard, Tampa Tom Brady in the new uniform going up against Drew Brees. So our first look at the Brady and the new offense, Rex, and early on, the very first drive, he looked very comfortable. Here's his first completion.
Yeah, that definitely looks like Tom Brady. Great 7 route he throws right there, but He still looks weird in that uniform, doesn't he?
It takes some getting used to. Here's another thing we're used to. Brady loves the quarterback sneak down by the goal line, the Gronk spike, and they look like they're getting off to a good start. They did indeed get off to a good start. Now, later, at just over 43 years old, by the way, Brady, the oldest NFL player ever to score a touchdown. Then here comes Alvin Kamara, the newly paid back for the Saints. He ties it at 7. Ensuing Bucs possession, this is where things start to go wrong. Rex, what happens here?
Well, this is, right now, they're not on the same page. Clearly, look, this is a chance. We all knew this could happen, especially with Mike Evans, and Mike Evans hadn't even practiced. So, look, chalk it up for just, they're just not on the same page here. And that's why I think the team's going to get better.
It would lead to another Kamara touchdown. Bucs down 10 at the half. Early third quarter, same score. 2nd and 15 at the 32. Brady, he's picked off again. What happens here?
Are you kidding me? Why are you throwing? You can't be late to the wide side of the field on an out route. Tom Brady knows this more than anybody. Throw that play out.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they're running that play in the first place. Saints a 24-7 lead. Then Brady starts to get a little more comfortable. Here's O.J. Howard. Brady, his first touchdown pass with Tampa. He'd finished 23 of 36, 239, 3 total touchdowns, 2 picks. Sounds a lot like a Jameis day. Early fourth quarter, Saints up 24-17. Breeze, Jared Cook's behind the defense.
Yeah, he is, but I can tell you what, they did nothing in the second half until that play.
And then Breeze, Emmanuel Sanders, you'd forgotten he was on the team until this play, but he makes it there. That's a touchdown, 31-17 Saints early in the fourth. 2 minutes and change to go. Saints need 5 yards to run out the clock. What do you think of this play, Rex?
Right here. This is a Buddy Ryan play right here. In other words, it's a great play. It's fun. And it's going to tick the entire Tampa Bay team off.
Breeze did not have a huge day. Threw for just 160 yards, but good enough to win. Brady and the Bucs fall in Game 1.
After the way we practiced for the last 2 weeks, would have never thought I'd see us have that many penalties, had them turnovers. Just basically mental error that really cost us when we got back in the game in the coverage. So it's round 1. We've lost round 1, and we'll get ready for round 2.
I've lost plenty of games in my career, so I know I don't like it, but it happens. So we got to just do a better job.
All right, Dan Orlovsky, I've been waiting all morning long to ask you this question. What did you see from Brady and that Bucs offense?
Well, Tom Brady looked like a guy who was playing in a new offense for the first time in 20 years. And he looked like a guy who was playing football for the first time in 8 months. I understand where Rex is coming from when saying not on the same page. Let me say this. You better get on the same page quickly, right? Because you are now chasing down a division opponent that's got a 1-0 lead. And so there's going to be mistakes. There's going to be better in the second half than they did in the first half. There's going to be a lot of really difficult conversations that have to get had this morning at one Tampa Bay place, one Buccaneer place, because if I'm Tom Brady, I'm going to Bruce Arians and going, do not ask me to throw an out from the left hash all the way to the field, out of the shotgun, ever again. Don't ask me to do it. That's not my game. And so, there was times when Tom Brady's at the line of scrimmage making checks. He's got to go talk to the running backs, tell them what the play is. And so I'm not going to overreact. This is week 1. They have to get on the same page quickly. Everyone's going to have to get up to speed. But I feel better, even with that performance. I feel better about the Bucs as a football team and an offense than I do about the Saints.
Why is that?
Well, because the Bucs offense is going to get up to speed. This is probably the best thing that could have happened to them, because they're going to go watch that tape and go, if we don't kill ourselves, if we don't make the mistakes, if we have to, kind of condense our playbook and be more efficient, we will. Is there. Scotty Miller is a guy that no one knew was going to be a player this year, had a really good afternoon. So I expect this offense only to get better and better and better, and that defense is great. I'm concerned about the Saints offense. The lack of explosive plays. Drew's arm does not look like it did this time last year with the ability to push the ball downfield. How are they going to manufacture that stuff is my concern.
All right, Rex is nodding along with a lot of what you're saying. Also, not mentioned to this point and not shown in the highlight for obvious reasons was Rob Gronkowski. What do you see? This package deal of Brady and Gronk is supposed to be a big addition in Tampa. Didn't see a lot of that yesterday.
No, I mean, it looked great on paper, but I told everybody that, look, you're not getting the Rob Gronkowski of several years ago. You're getting the Rob Gronkowski, quite honestly, that's even slower than he was. And I said 3 years ago that he was running with a piano on his back. And he is. And bless it, look, he's trying. He's competitive as hell. But you got to save him from himself. Bring him down, cut his package back a little, let him play on third down, red zone, 2-minute situations, and that's it. And he'll get through the season. If not, he's not even going to get through the season.
Are you happy with what you saw from their offense, though, schematically? Do you believe, as Dan does, that this will get better quickly because it has to?
Yeah, absolutely. You even saw it during the game. It got much better as the game went on. So